when somebody shows up. How's it, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Oh, hey, remember? Okay. Whoops. Looks like somebody showed up. Ooh, maybe not. But, all right. Yeah, I tried to post a regular video and metadata something bad message. Tried it 2 or 3 times. Restarted the phone, all that stuff. Um, yeah, so I decided to do a quick impromptu live, not limiting myself to too much time, but I am going to go until at least I have had, I think, 10, either 10 humans show up for it or hit the like button. That would be awesome. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting rid of some of these things too. I sent an email to the company that double shipped me, and they haven't replied. So I'm just figuring I've had this happen in the golf business, especially even, which was strange. Even if it wasn't a personalized product like golf ball, a logo golf ball, or a personalized name imprinted golf ball, but just regular stock. They would work a deal with me. They overshipped me sometimes, 144 dozen show up that I'm not prepared to pay for to take advantage, within 15 days to take advantage of a discount, a fast paying discount. Um, and so I mean, this happened more than once, but for instance, they might say, oh, well, we notice you have, oh, somebody's here. We notice you have this outstanding order on dating, and my account was all squared away. So they actually gave me till the end of the season, October, middle of October, to pay for everything and still get the discount as if I paid for everything within 15 days. So that's pretty cool. Wow, paper. What happened to paper? We need paper. Awesome. Paper money? Paper money don't hold. Uh, Either Ronnie Montrose wrote that, but definitely Sammy Hagar sang it. You toilet. All right, sub 83. Uh, Glad you're here. What's my favorite car for edit? Car? Probably be a 1988 Acura Integra Special Edition. I would edit it to the point where they still exist because I'm not sure if any first generation Integra exists. Uh, Mega Tesla Mr. Best 14. Um, yeah, I'd say he's got a pretty good fortune. Is that metal gold? Yes, it is. This is the difference, and this is part of what I'm made this video for. Looks like there's 9 people in here. Wow. Um, so this is gold. Okay, these are American Eagles. Let me get a kind of a better example, or at least a weight example. There we go. This is a There's a full ounce of gold in here, but there's a bunch of, they're not a bunch, but there's a slight amount of silver and copper to make it uh, more, to give it more structural integrity. Because you could carry this around like regular change, even maybe not clad, but old pre 65 constitutional silver. And guess how old me? Say 18, I hope. I thought I restricted the watching to adults, but well, we'll try to keep it clean. Sub 383. So this is a 22 karat, in jewelry terms. Um, but there's still an ounce of silver in there, 31.103, I think. Now this is 1 ounce of gold. Also, there's an ounce of gold in this buffalo, the subject of my live, which could have been a regular video, but I got bad meta issues today. Okay, boy, I never wished for a moderator, but I might need one. Or we can just ignore you, because that's strange. But anyhow, this is a 24 carat. So I guess I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to everybody. Everybody knows that. So my question is, what do you think about trading up? Would I use something like this that's in a set? No, I'd keep that eagle and I'd keep that silver eagle. Would I be willing to um, trade one of these straight up? Preferably this over any of my fractional. But since I got this stuff, I've come to learn via our, you're forgiven. Hey, I'm not one to judge. Um, this I got for probably the same, very similar. I didn't pay extra for this because it's in a fancy holder, as I did for this. Now these are half ounces. They just don't seem to be very popular at all. Um, so that might hurt me if it comes to trading for something like this, trading this for a buffalo. And then so I placed that in a comment on uh, the, I don't know if he's a new channel or new to me channel, Mind Spark. And there's a space between every letter, and they're all in capital letters in case you want to check him out. And recently he's been kind of putting some videos out there on a, you know, two or three a week. And I'm not saying you're going to agree with anything and everything that he says, but it's interesting. He broaches some really neat subjects. And I think he's the one that inspired me to think about this. And then so I made a comment, and then he replied to my comment. I love it when channel operators do that. It gives me a feeling like somebody's hearing me, especially the person that caused me to make a comment, channel operator. He types back something. I'll paraphrase it. Yeah, oh yeah, it's a good idea. But there's going to be extra or a premium involved or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, today's prices. Let's say I bought this, I don't know, a month ago or last year or whatever. I don't. It could. I might have had to spend anywhere from 2,000 or to maybe even 2,800 if I bought it last night. Conversely, these things usually are or were more expensive than the Eagles. I think in general. And I think even back when I got this, I did, and it could have been because the prices were going up in the 80s, late 80s and 90s and early 2000s, all the way up to 2010. And then they went crazy and then they went down and then they had but still increased prices. So, but I think along that time period, these buffaloes generally brought more money than this. And I think I paid a little bit more for this, but I thought it was because it was in this fancy box with an Edwin C. Moy uh, certificate of authenticity. But I mean, I look at this and I am no means an expert, and I definitely wouldn't give coin advice. But there's no memo in here that I would think that makes it special. And the fact that it's in this plastic gizzy that looks like it's been torn off somewhere, I think. I thought. Oh, maybe not. It looked like maybe it doesn't have perforations. I might be mixing this up with some silver Canadian Eagles that I have. But still, yeah, that just seems kind of, I'm going to use the word generic or plain old bullion, uh, 24 karat, mind you. So, because I've really, since I got in this stacking channel about 4 months now, I think. Thanks for everybody that's coming in. 7 people here and 4 thumbs up. Appreciate it. And occasionally I go back and review the chat, but there's not been a whole lot of chat really worth reviewing just yet. But um, so these things are cool. And I've only got one. This is it. Because I didn't see them in the coin shops. And when I did, I think I saw like some kind of fancy mint set thing, and it was just crazy money. More money than I had in my pocket of disposable budgeted uh, cash flow. So he says, oh, yeah, there's going to be a premium. Oh, there's going to be an upcharge or something like that. Right. And I'm thinking, Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But what if, what if you bought something like this for $400? And what if you could trade it and whatever premium on top of that? So let's say it's $100 or even $200. So if it's $100 and I turn this into a buffalo, I know it's not technically correct, but a lot of folks like to talk about dollar cost averaging. I've never really concerned myself with that, uh, because I want to concentrate my disposable cash flow on silver, generic forms, plain or maybe vintage or 1 ounce bars, and I definitely want to get some rolls of 365 dimes. But so let's say I had to give this. Now I want tax to be involved. Let's say I had to trade this plus $100 bill for that. That would mean I only instead of 400 in this, I got 500 in it, right? That's pretty easy to swallow. Now, will it increase my gold hoard? No, but I got a few of these, and I have one of these, and I'd rather spend the money on another one of these or three or four. They are the same. Uh, Either one is fine. I like them both and have both. Well, I tell you, Miguel, uh, I don't disagree with you. This is why I was going to make a video, give people a chance to think about it. I seem to get more comments on my regularly posted videos than I do in the chat. Probably has nothing to do with my rambling and uh, chaotic techniques, but yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. But man, uh, if they have type twos buffaloes, I'd love to. I I wouldn't mind checking that out. So maybe I'll do it one. I don't know. I'm going to try to find out at a coin show on November 10th, my first ever in my life, and I've been collecting coins since I was a kid, the mid late 60s till start really stacking in 98, 99, uh, and went pretty steady until 2010. Life got in the way, and then I started picking up gradually, and the prices really increased. But okay, Miguel, hang on. Sorry. So anyway, so that's my thinking. And then my last gold purchase before I moved back here, 2016, late 16. That's when I got these fractionals, 10th ounces, that 10 of those. And I'm definitely into fractional. And I don't think I'd trade any of my 10th ounces for anything. But also, now in lieu of $100, what if I, what if, what about something like that? You think that would be a fair deal? This whole set? I don't know if there's a premium because it's some kind of 2016, I don't know what year anniversary, 20th anniversary set. It takes up a lot of space. I know that. And that's a totally different video. My Kilo Kook and my Kilo Dragon, they just take up so much space. That Daniel Carr back there in that big box. Yeah, they didn't make a, a silver proof that year. I forget what year it is, but this Daniel Carr guy did with an old US Mint press. And this is a half, this, okay, so, okay, let's go back to the chat. Either one is fine. I like both and have both. Me too. I have one Buffalo. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. I will trade you a buffalo and if you give me an AGE and $100. So mean, if I had to do that, like say for instance at a coin show or what have you, I think I'm going to take this very eagle with me just to see, at least get a video out of it. But it's okay. So I think that'd be a win-win. There might be some people say, "Oh, don't do it." There might be some people that, "Hello again, Seven Stacks. Hey, what's up? Ordinary man, trade foreign gold for U.S. gold." I don't. The only foreign gold I had is a couple. I think a tenth and 1/20th ounce Canadian gold. I don't think I have any other non-United States gold. I got some pre-33s, which I'm not gonna part with. Don't know why. I mean, I don't, probably that's the collector in me. and to preserve history, I'd hate to think about those things getting melted because for whatever reason. SGT stacking. Wow. Nice. Fist bump, brah. I'm going to quit talking here pretty soon because I've posed the question. Okay, so uh, Miguel, so yeah, he'll do that trade, and I don't know. I don't think that's an unfair trade. Now it might be just totally out of the question if I'd have bought this last month or yesterday or maybe even this year. I don't follow the prices much, but I know it's dramatically increased from when I got this. But so yeah, that. But how about this? Okay, so that's a 22 karat eagle for a buffalo, and I don't care what kind of buffalo it is. If it's all mangled up and lepo or something, I that would cause me to pause. But what about two of these? Not in a fancy case. These things aren't that hard to stack. I've got a few of them, and um, they actually stack on top of each other pretty well, and they don't take up much space in an ammo box, more than just a one of these, a tube of Eagles, or a bunch of Lucy's in even in their little, what do you call those things? Capsules. Okay, Miguel. Uh, great. But what if there was two of these? Now this is a proof, and I've got some of those. Obviously, I got this one, and then the others are not proofs. They're not as shiny, and I don't know if there's much of a value, a price difference, whether it's eBay or wherever. What about two of these, 24 karat? So this is a 24 karat. That's a half an ounce of gold. Don't feel nearly as good in this case, this slab, than it does when it's in its natural state in a capsule. I've never touched one of these with my fingers. I've touched the capsules though. They're pretty cool. There's one of them. They got spooky eyes, but Abigail Adams, the wife of the first Adams, which was I think the second president, John Adams, and the mom of John Quincy. Wow, talk about a security guard. She keeps an eye on all my stuff, man, because she's spooky. But so would you take two of these straight up? With the fancy box and the certificate of authenticity? Because those things are awkward. I can only fit I think five of those in a um, 22 long rifle metal ammo box. They're bulky. We got some resin boxes, but I don't advise those for long-term stacking, especially if you stack ammo box upon ammo box, because their structural integrity is not nearly as good as a metal box. And the metal box also you get that rubber seal, which it doesn't hurt to put a little petroleum jelly on there every so often. For me, it's 8 years in between doing that stuff because I'd have to unbury and then look at it and play with it and then tuck it away and then petroleum jelly the rubber seal and then bury it again. But those that hasn't really happened much. And I know that this, and I'm not really interested in uh, doing anything with any of my tenth of an ounce Eagles, even if they're in this fancy but probably generic box, because that's my fractional fetish. I have a fetish for fractional gold and silver. I like fractional silver. I got some tenth ounce Golden State Mint rounds. Looks like little mini liberties on the front, or little eagles, silver eagles on the front, and I think a wheat penny, a wheat cent on the back. That's kind of cool. But anyhow, so what's up? So okay, so back to the chat when it started to look familiar. Um, okay, I would trade you with Buffalo. Okay, so what do you think about? You might be gone. Um, uh, Miguel. Yeah, plot thickens, doesn't it? So ideally, I don't know. I wouldn't mind lowering my inventory of these first spouse coin set series. There it is. First spouse series gold proof coin, and then some of them are not a proof. They are the redheaded stepchild of the coin collecting world. I I don't I haven't run into anybody that likes these things. I did, out of curiosity, check eBay to see if they were selling for spot, because I would think they are. I know, that's how I got mine. Melt is what I called it back then, or what we called it in my local coin shop. There was a couple of them. They saw me coming, especially after the first visit. But again, back in the day, it's not the same. But yeah, they. I think they're. I didn't look at it. I didn't touch a calculator or nothing. But I'm thinking they're less. I think a half one of these in its fancy box and everything. Um, Maybe not in a slab, but it's a nice presentation. Don't get me wrong. And they're not ugly coins, especially the backs. The backs are pretty neat and they tell a little story. Um, and if you know anything like that, that's Dolly Madison. There's a looks like a painting of George Washington hanging in her background between a couple pillars. Well, apparently, when the White House was being burned in the Battle of 1812, um, she saved a bunch of paintings, probably like that. I'm not sure that it wasn't even some famous painting of George Washington that is depicted in that engraving. But cool, yeah, nice. They're pretty shiny. They're not ugly. The women are. Now I know why. Uh, Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. But well, she's not bad. But the spooky eyes. I mean, they look like black velvet Elvis painting eyes that follow you wherever you go in the room. Emerald Coast Tiger, how's it, brother? All right, duh, Sleuth. Oh, you are Akamai kind. And so, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I mean, my brain, and I don't even do caffeine, but I can't shut my brain off. My back is still killing me. So this is kind of mental and physical therapy. I'm practicing leaning over without making strange sounds. So anyway, recap. Um, yeah, I was thinking about trading up from some Eagle forms. Actually, I have a bunch of these. This is a quarter ounce. Again, 22 carat. So four of these for a buffalo at a deal at a coin show. Some old dude that maybe bought his buffalo back when I got mine, and he doesn't have a whole lot in his. And if I'm friendly, polite, personable, which I can fake, um, yeah, it might happen. Uh, so yeah, that's just not so much to save space unless it concern the spouses, because I don't think those things are ever going to demand anything more than melt. Other than you could probably make an extra $12 on the deal by taking the coin out of the fancy box and then selling the boxes on eBay. I think that stuff happens. I know I bought an empty tubes. I bought an empty monster box. Um, that's about all the oh, and stuff like this. I got a box of 10 of these. I used one for this. This is a Golden State Mint, I think. Yep, Golden State Mint. Not technically inclusive. It's some kind of. When I first saw them, it made help. Was reminded of Roseville pottery. It's an famous Ohio pottery, um, and it was kind of like a recessed relief or something. I forget what they called it. Mr. V Rose, whoa! Wow, I got a bunch of VIPs in here. JK Pioneer, Emerald, how's it? So anyway, while you guys are thinking about commenting or saying hi and all that good stuff, I really appreciate it. 16 people, 6 thumbs up. Thank you very much. And again, to recap, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't have enough meta capabilities or something on my phone. Same thing happened to me last Friday evening, all the way until my 0500 Saturday, which would be 8 o'clock on the West Coast, uh, 11 o'clock on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time Zone. But yeah, so I'm going to go back through the chat now that it's civil. Start from the, so so what do you think, Miguel? If you're still here, would would you do that? I'm not saying we do that. I'm just saying that if you were a coin dealer at the November 10th show and some old dude proposed an idea like this, what do you think? Uh, I'd rather trade extra. Nah, silver. Nah, money's so much easier, and I've got no October and November cash flow budgets already. I've already combined them for November 10th. If it happens, election's on November 5th. Yeah, I know it's only 5 days after that, but who really knows? Like that's not rocket surgery. Uh, so okay, so yeah, trade you for a buffalo. You give me a American Gold Eagle and $100. When I was coming, when this stuff is going through my mind, this just happened within the last 2 or 3 hours. Um, I was thinking, $100. As a matter of fact, in the reply I did to Mind Spark, a bunch of spaces in between every capital letter, I even used my example as $200, which I don't know. It sounds high, but it depends on how wants and needs. Do I need more than one buffalo if I've got a bunch of eagles? Probably not. Do I want one? Yeah, especially if it's a type 2, because if there even is a type 2 buffalo, I don't know. And if there's not, that's going to make the exercise a lot easier. I definitely want to get a type 2 um, eagle. I don't care what year or even size. I prefer an ounce because I know now in 2024, thanks to you folks, that there's a premium for buying smaller stuff, gold stuff like that. It's 10th ounces. I don't recall it. I didn't feel the premium, except actually I didn't feel it when I bought this tube either, because I got this for the highest price for per ounce of gold that I had at that point had ever paid in my life, and that was 16. So that was after at least 27, 28 years of collecting gold, I think. Yes. So because I took two customers in and they each bought an ounce, and he charged me the same amount for my air quote ounce. So yeah, so my mind's racing. But back to the chat. I wouldn't trade for Dolly. No. Okay, he's back. Miguel, dude, you are the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, I wouldn't either. No one. They talk. There's all this doomsday, gloom and doom, and SHTF, and barter tents, and people trading, their heirloom Morgan silver dollar for a loaf of bread. I was a food prepper long before I was a precious metal stacker. But if in those situations, I don't think Dolly would buy much. I really, I think it's probably good for melt. And actually, uh, would it? Here's a good question. I know there's some bigwigs on here. Lots of brains on this chat. Um, would this is a half an ounce, 24 karat. Would it be worth way less if I were to take these and learn how to smelt with gold with them? Would that be putting it in a different form? Would that devalue uh, in today's market? Which really shouldn't matter to me because I refuse to sell or trade anything for uh, Federal Reserve note unless I know for sure I'm going to be rebuying with those dollar bills, or whether it's electronic money, like checking account stuff like that. I don't keep much money in the bank, just 9 days worth of bills. And now that I don't really have a whole lot of, I don't put a lot of cash or any cash into the bank. It's a lot easier. You get way less eyebrows. Nobody bothers you. You never have to see a bank teller nowadays unless you want to. Um, so yeah, I don't blame you, Miguel. So back to the chat. Hey, thanks for making this live pretty lively. All of yous. I'm not. I'm I don't know if I set an alarm, but I'm not going to let it go 2 hours and 47 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon while I still got 14 people and 12 heads, 12 thumbs up. That's awesome. I wouldn't mind if Liberty makes it in and Southeast Stacker, and maybe they have. I'm getting down the chat. Uh, trade. Sorry, I will trade if you where I did that one. Hello again. Thank you, Seven Stacks. SGT Stacking. I saw one of your recent. You shared it with I think Emerald Coast, and I noticed a lot of. I got a USMC vibe from you, but because I'm not a former Marine, I'm a squid. 4 years worth of that. I get the vibe that you might have done at least 20 in the Marine Corps, and so I wouldn't have dared type Semper Fi because my brother was Marine, and I know how you guys are picky about that stuff. But thank you so much for coming in. You wouldn't train for Dolly, no? All right, Miguel. Uh, you and me gonna be good friends. Isn't she the head of the snack cake company? Yeah, I think. I don't know if they used her. If they were smart, they wouldn't use her image in any of her advertising. I think it wasn't Lucy, but it was it Linus's sister on Peanuts that was their front person. Duh, Sleuth, duh. That's awesome. How's it, brother? Good, good for being elderly, suffering from a back injury, and being technically challenged. My favorite NCO. Oh, okay, yeah. So uh, I'm thinking that refers to SGT. Emerald Coast Stacker, thank you. JK Pioneer, thank you. Emerald Coast Stacker says, I'm about to have a cup of some JK Gourmet right now. I think he's talking about coffee. Uh, I can't drink coffee. I mean, I can. It's just, it's the side effects. I can't, I'm not good on it. But if I were to, I would definitely enjoy a gourmet cup of coffee. I like coffee. I love the smell of it. Um, I work outside the home 3 days a week. I'm retired, but I'm supplementing my Social Security and paying for the. I get health insurance, which means I don't have to pay for Plan B of Medicare. And they're a Lion Coffee. They're kind of famous for. They used to use exclusively Kona coffee. I'm not sure, but I know they have a blend. A lot of Kona coffee, air quote, um, is blended with other, Colombian, what have you. And there are some 100% Kona coffees, and I guess Kauai has got into the coffee game. I'm married to a Wahine. Her father was born in the house that his father was born in, that his father was born in on the Kona side of the Big Island, and they actually have coffee trees on their. I don't know. They got about, I don't know, 20 acres worth of space. Not all tillable, that's for sure. They used to have a luau pig farm. They had macadamia nuts, avocados, and coffee. And yeah, I love. I guess I can say I love coffee. I just don't participate in it much. And supposedly it's not healthy for your heart, but I hardly believe it, anything that I hear from people that tell you stuff like that. Mr. V. Rose, says, good afternoon at Silver Sleuth. Greetings from Southwest Florida. Southwest. I'm thinking Stuart, Florida is on the southwest side of Florida. It might be Midwest, uh, but I'm familiar with Stuart, Florida, in addition to Tampa and St. Pete and Destin, and of course that Kissimmee, Orlando, uh, JK Pioneer, Emerald, J to the K, Mr. V Rose, woo, Sergeant Stacking, 7 stacks. Glad to see you, Mr. V Rose. Wow, I feel like I help bring people together. This is a great community. Anyhow, let me get this focused on the subject matter. SGT, JK, okay, Miguel D. Murillo, I cannot twirl my L's or R's, Murillo, I think you can get a Buffalo easy for 4 quarter, even sway, no problems. Not sure anyone wants Dolly. Yeah, I gotta agree with you, bro. Um, but it's not gonna, never hurts to ask. But I am confident. I am confident that I could put these things on eBay. Maybe I'd want to get on there and have a few successful non-precious metal auctions really quickly. I've got a bunch of Aloha shirts that I need to turn into eventually something shiny, free up some closet space. I've got a bunch of camouflage, USGI camouflage, uh, not just trousers, but I have a lot of those, and or gear. But I'm not going to, I mean, I'm still going to keep a healthy stack for just in case. But, and then so get my feedback up, and then boom, because my feedback is seller feedback from 2012. That's probably the soonest I can still bring it up. I actually can bring up the auction where I sold a 10-ounce Engelhard silver bar that I like a hand-me-down. It wasn't part of my plan by 2011, and I had kind of paused on the prices were going up, and I had life got in the way. I think that's my wife was I was trying to get my wife to retire, uh, and my dad was progressively getting closer to death, and I was a caregiver, and so I found that option. I don't think I can retrieve the photo unless it's in the little thumbnail thingy. eBay's changed a lot. I resurrected my PayPal account. I got all my numbers and accounts and addresses and phone numbers straight on there. So, yeah, anyway, back to Dolly or Abigail or Jacqueline. I don't have a Jacqueline Kennedy. I got all mine kind of early after they were released. It didn't take long after their release for them to just not be desirable to anybody except some idiotic doom and gloom tinfoil hat wearing idiot like me. But you gotta admit, that ain't a bad, is that tails? Reverse? That's not bad. The front's pretty hideous. Even, and I'm not cutting on their looks because that's what women looked like back in 1800 or whatever. So, yeah, I don't blame you. But I'm confident that I could get melt. Matter of fact, because I don't trust now, something like this, when I put my Panamas and 40% JFKs and all kinds of stuff on eBay at the peak in 2011, I started everything at 99 cents. At the time, I don't, maybe they've changed it. It was cheaper to do it that way. If not, you had to pay I think, I don't know, maybe a heftier spiff to eBay to start it at a more realistic price. But, I didn't feel like I was even taking a chance because that time I'd sold hundreds and hundreds of pieces of pottery and barrister bookcases and parts of barrister bookcases and vintage postcards and cast iron and just antiques and collectibles. But yeah, so I think I could, back to Dolly and her crew, um, dead presidents' wives. But yeah, I think I could get melt. I really do. Now, would I start it at 99 cents? No, in case I fall asleep at the wheel and end up selling it for 190 bucks because that's all anybody wants to pay. So I put it in there, just slightly under spot with a story letting them know it might look like a ripoff or it might look like I'm not, like I don't know what I'm doing, but I got these things right and I'm not greedy. So bid away. And if not, it's still gold. And I tell you, my hedge against this stuff in the after the reset, I don't after a reset, I'm a currency reset or a money reset. I'm not sure that it'll matter because the key stuff is at like 9999 fine gold, half ounce, 1/2 ounce. But if not, or even before then, if I still live, because I'm old, um, got health issues, but yeah, that would make a good melting experiment. Definitely at least a video or two, because I've never smelted, but I want to learn, and I've been taking notes on that. I actually made a decision. I think I'm going to go with a propane um, forge. I'm not interested in melting aluminum or bronze or tin or copper, um, just gold and silver. And so yeah, that That's a viable alternative for that one. I wouldn't even let somebody like Silverpunk do something with that. Just figure out a different way to get a special Silverpunk pour, uh, or any of you guys' pours, than to deface something like that. Deface, that's a good word for these things. Sorry. Anyway, so back to I think you can get a Buffalo easy for 4 quarters. I do too. I do too. I think because I think the quarters. I mean, for me personally, not that it matters, except to me, maybe my wife, um, of 45 years, by the way, continuous in a row. Um, I just love these tenthers. Thank goodness there wasn't YouTube around to tell me that that's stupid to buy those things back in 1998, 99, and beyond. But these things, they make, you know, almost as much sense as that for all different kinds of reasons. Budget, having to save up. Nowadays, that's something I got to pay attention to. Nowadays, I'm buying uh, 1 gram bars. My first my first gold purchase, I got a quarter ounce. It might even be in here. It's got Roman numerals. I don't like those. But, oh, yeah, that might be it. Or one of them. I only got one at a pawn shop, and I didn't have to pay tax in Hawaii because it was considered secondhand goods. And I was just walking in there for a video idea. Hey, finally went to a pawn shop, checked out gold and silver. They had zero silver, none, not even jewelry, but they had probably 95% of the shop was all gold jewelry, rings and brooches and bracelets and necklaces and just all kinds of stuff. And they eventually found out that they had a quarter ounce gold eagle. Didn't have to pay any kind of sales tax. It was out the door. Um, Said I could have used a credit card if I wanted to, but because it was coming out of a budgeted fiat cash flow uh, philosophy, I just give them cash. And so, yeah. But before I, just before I purchased that in person, live, belly to belly, I got, and I thought I made a video of them, and I did. I did stash those. I didn't bury them, but I did stash them where with a bad back I can't get to them. But it's a perforated sheet of 25 1 gram pipe Swiss assay cards, but they're connected. You could tear them off if you want, kind of like that Volcambi or Volcambi bar. You can pinch some. Super cool. I got that Costco with my couple discounts from the right card and the right executive club membership. There's a lot of people that talk about that, but Louis was a big help in me figuring that out, and being kind of OCD and checking the website without waiting for his alerts. And that's where I got my completed my goal. I had end up getting 80 Type 2 2024, four of them, 4 rolls, off of Costco.com too. So anyway, back to the chat because we're running on 43 minutes. I can give a, I do too. Please remember to get the thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Mr. V Rose. Hopefully, I can somehow talk JK to come on my next live. That'd be cool. Um, you and SGT had it was very entertaining, especially the commercials. That was cool. I jotted down some ideas that I got from that, but I don't want to get, I wouldn't steal your guys' thunder in your, in the midst of your live. Not like I could steal anybody's thunder, but yes, LOL. JK, just kidding, maybe? Um, 24 karat for the win says Emerald Coast Stacker. I believe him. I don't think it's an absolute must, but that could be influenced because I was buying 22 karat, pretty much my whole gold hoarding career. Uh, do I like the clipped wing sleuth? Oh, I think you're talking about the type two eagle versus the real eagle back here on the. that guy. I prefer this. This to me, this says, you know, a lot of things. America, coins. I mean, this history. This is just so classic. The newer one, it's okay, but it is different. Um, and I do have a touch of collector. Um, I'm, you know, 95% stacker, 5% collector, and a lot of that collecting stuff was because I could stack it just like if it was a piece of plain gold or a plain silver, an eagle especially. So, so do I like? I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. But I like the fact that it's different. So will I be going after a bunch of Type 2 eagles from beyond? No, no. I'd be more interested in tenthers, grams, assay card, um, all kinds of stuff. Since I've learned about premiums, I've figured out I'm probably not a huge premium proponent or a fan. That's a lot of gold you get there, Sleuth. Yeah, I've 30 plus years, although I had an 8 year break. And then there was I had a 3 year hiatus. Sometimes life gets in the way. When my dad was, I was caregiver for my dad. I was given 6 weeks. I was given by his doctors, and that's when I learned what hospice was and palliative care. They gave me 6 weeks and wanted me to send him to some, like hospice home to die by himself without his cigars. So I said, no, no, we'll just go home and maybe we'll die together. And yeah, they were right. 6 weeks, 23 years and 6 weeks later, he finally passed away. And the last year or so were tough. My dad passed away in late 12, uh, in December. My father-in-law passed away in December just this last year. So December's a weird month. But so that was taking a lot of my time. And then I'm just going to whisper this word. My wife was going through menopause, and so it was a perfect storm. But it was a perfectly timed storm because I was noticing the uptick in prices because I was taking away less from the local coin shop with the same amount of money that I would budget and go. As soon as I hit the budget, I went. Uh, I forget, they were closed on some funky day, like maybe Mondays, Sundays, and Mondays or something like that, maybe. But so, I just got lucky. Labor under correct knowledge, yes, but sometimes uh, God does things for me that I'm not able to do myself. So uh, that's a lot of cool. Thank you. Yeah, like it. But I wish I'd have started earlier. I wish I'd have discovered. Well, they only had Krugerrands. I'm not even sure what kind of gold you. I guess you could probably buy pre 33. I don't have any of that stuff out. Pre 33 gold in 19. I don't know, 77. That's the year I graduated high school. So instead of spending money on poison whiskey, um, poison tequila, methaqualone, Seconal, Placidil, chlorhydrate, and stuff like that, yeah, I wish I'd have discovered. And cars. I was into cars. I was into stuff. I had the component stereo, just even had a reel to reel. uh, just stuff. I eventually got over stuff and just found new stuff. This is shiny stuff. It's a lot easier to store and hide than it is, a bunch of stuff, stereo components. Back then, I think if they broke into your house, that'd be one of the first things they'd go after instead of rifling through hidey holes to see if you got any gold or silver stashed. Uh, I don't think it was super popular back then. Might have been. Uh, that's what I like about this stacking channel, man. I haven't, I've talked more about gold and silver out loud to somebody besides myself in the past 4 months since I've discovered you folks. Oh my gosh, I never would have dreamt. It's awesome. Um, I was too busy watching videos of, I was a prepper, so I I even had a prepper channel on the YouTube. Got in trouble because it was a politically incorrect prepper channel, and I didn't pay attention to rules. Not that I defied them, I just didn't pay attention. By the time I found out, oh, there's a rule against saying that or doing that or drawing that. I used to make memes. I've been uninvited from YouTube, Twitter. Uh, I haven't tried the new Twitter, X, even Facebook. Just I'm just not. I'm like a social leper. So never mind. Was thinking of an ASE. Uh, oh, well, either or. Either or, yeah. See, I didn't. I might have asked it to myself probably. I'm not sure there's a difference in the back of the Type 2 Eagles. Is there? Oh, wait, I think it's like an eagle head, just the head, like a side profile. I don't know. I don't have one, and that's why I want one. So that's a collector in me. Uh, let's see. So yeah, I prefer the silver reavers for sure, but I don't dislike the 2024 version, and I don't know how far back that one goes. 22? Is that when they first started that? So I would just want one of each. Actually, I want one of each Silver Eagle from about 2012 until 2023. Just say I got one of each. That's the collector. Silver Stallion, hello. Hi, yo, Silver. Howdy, y'all. Emoji, emoji. Mr. V Rose, cheers at Silver Stallion. SGT stacking? Yes. Uh, okay, here's one. This one of my favorite terms. Emerald Coast Stacker says, I am clicking up in a SHTF situation. Is that kind of like hunkering down? Because I'm a hunker down gray man strategy type guy with a small, like-minded support system, you know, really close by, running distance, jogging, because, 10 houses, 20 houses away. Uh, a month ago, no problem. Now, since I've hurt my back, my heart attack didn't slow me down, but this back sure is. But yeah, I'm hungry. If that's what that means, or maybe it's digging up. I won't be digging up. I'll be making sure that I can remember where it's buried in case I have to bug out temporarily and then reconnoiter back when either the coast is clear or I clear it myself. Uh, yeah, I got issues. I'm still a hardcore prepper. I mean, I still rotate, and I'm eating chili and canned goods that are because I've been back 8 years, so I'm eating stuff that's 2, 3 years past its air quote best buy date. Uh, I practice eating USGI MREs and then the kind of MREs that they give to these migrants. Um, you got to practice that stuff because stash what you eat. That's a good thing. And then of course, as far as beans and rice, yeah, that's very critical, especially beans. Beans keep much longer than rice with the same precautions, a desiccant, food grade bucket, seal meal, all that kind of vacuum packing. But beans last forever. Not forever, but dark, controlled, cool, consistent temperature environment. 20 years, 25 years, maybe more. I've heard people say more. I can only talk about what I've personally experienced, and I've eaten MREs from the Vietnam era um, and since. So, are they the greatest things in the world? Well, if you're hungry enough, it doesn't matter. And in my opinion, when it comes to a SHTF situation, calories are important. Yeah, nutrition is important. Yeah, I'm limiting my rice and starch intake now because of glucose levels and sucrose, and I quit drinking apple juice. But when you need calories and times have changed, I don't think anybody should really concern themselves with that kind of stuff as much as calories. Does that mean go out and stock up on the cheapest calorie, probably in America, which is candy from Dollar Tree? Uh, Price per calorie might be one of the best deals, but other than that, I'm not concerned about. And I tell you, I did I, I and I reminded it because I saw a prepper video recently. I still watch prepper videos. I still watch videos of cats and dogs and stuff like that. Occasionally the political stuff, but mostly you guys. But Mountain House, and I was surprised that. So I made a comment about the Mormons. The Mormons are preppers. The LDS, which I think they prefer LDS versus Latter-day Saints versus Mormons. For some reason, Mormons has a negative connotation. But they've been preppers for a long time. They have facilities where you can go in, you can take your own stuff and use their equipment, and you pay a fee, and or even use their number 10 cans and seal that stuff away there, or they already have stuff sealed away, freeze-dried peas. That's a great prep, in addition to pinto beans and yeah, rice. I'm married to Hawaiian Chinese girl, Portuguese. Rice is everywhere. I've not been eating rice for the past 100 days or so, but I cheat a couple times. It's not really cheating, just more like a reward. But yeah. So SHTF, I I'm into that. Mr. V Rose, were we drinking? I don't drink anymore. And normally back in the day, I'd say I don't drink any less, but I just don't. What is this, 2024? I might have had three half beers because my wife likes to have a beer every so often. Her favorite is Heineken, and she's a beer snob. I used to be, and so yeah, but I can even finish. And even when I was a drinker, I was a cheap drinker. Uh, I was a three beer person. Buy one, spill one, and give one away. I don't know if that's the little bit of Irish and American Indian I got in me or not, but yeah, not good with alcohol. Um, so yeah, I don't want to go into drinking stories. I actually used to have a channel where I would talk about all kinds of stuff, but not anymore. It's not politically correct. I think a coin dealer would trade fairly for those First Lady gold coins that Silver Sleuth, says Mr. V Rose. I would think so too. They're business people, right? I know well, actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the local coin shop guy that I got most of my First Ladies from is even still alive. But he didn't like them. And he had an adult son that was kind of part-time-ish into the business. I don't, maybe he was in college or who knows, helping out his dad. But I know he didn't like him. And then the other coin shop that I predominantly went between these two, mostly the one, but if he didn't have enough to empty my pockets, enough silver and or gold to empty the my cash flow, it was like another 20-minute drive to another smaller, less busy, less inventory coin shop. But he even had some of these First Lady 24 karat. He didn't like him. Nobody liked him. Nobody likes him. But I do. I think a corn dealer would trade fairly, and fairly is a perception, right? And perception is reality. And I'm pretty real. And I'm not greedy. And my goal is different. My goal is not to maximize a profit. I'll use that word loosely. I don't look at any of this stuff as bringing me a profit. I look at it as security, and I've paraphrased it, heard it, and made it my own. Silver and gold, even golds, but either silver or gold, they might not make me rich, but they might give me a chance to not be homeless and poor in the future, or my wife. Most likely. I'm a pessimist. Do I think I'm going to make it? My goal was to make it to 70, then pull all this stuff up and figure out what to do with it, if anything. Then you guys got in the way. And so now I'm thinking, but, you know, even if I make it to, and my goal was to make it to 70, I'm 65. So another 5 years, a little less than 5 years, I was going to make that decision. But now that I've learned, you can teach old dogs new tricks, especially dog lover dog. I'm a dog lover. Um, yeah, now my strategy's probably changed 2 dozen times in the last 3 or 4 months since I've been paying attention to you folks, and that's just because I'm mentally unstable. But I got the right idea in my mind, and that's really all that matters. Ooh, there's a new name for me. Casey Stacker. Hi, y'all. Thank you, Casey Stacker. And Silver Stallion gives a peace sign to at Emerald Coast Stacker. Mr. V. Rose says, at Silver Sleuth, what are you hoping to trade for? I have Pogs, PCGS graded MS-70, Type 1 and Type 2. Wow, Mr. V. Rose, I'm going to have to write that down. Um, uh, or maybe I'll remember, but I wouldn't be opposed to trading something that you would want. Um, and I'm not I don't care about graded stuff, even though I got some of that stuff. Uh, I'm sure I paid a little more for that than I would have had to pay for that, but not much. And that's why, because I even remember telling, I don't care about that stuff. Now, I'm surprised that that's a 70, because most of that stuff that I've got that's in a slab, whether it's silver or gold, is a 69. Now, they in order to pedal that thing off, they might have been tempted to put PR 72. I don't even think that rating exists. But yeah, I'm not opposed to anything, and especially with the stacking community, especially if it would help them or make them happy, give them joy, especially if it was fair, and especially, most especially, if we could get a video or two out of it, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I'm an attention whore. Sorry. Oh, bad word. Uh, he is a devil dog for sure. Devil dog. So that might be talking about SGT. Did not do 20, but just 10. But yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Oh, wow. 10, man. Well, I know it's maybe it's not different in the United States Marine Corps, but between 1978 and 1982 in the United States Navy, especially on board ship, I was on a guided missile destroyer, did, Philippines, Thailand, blah, blah, blah. A lot of breakage. It was the oldest Sherman class destroyer that was converted to a guided missile destroyer. It was left over from, I believe, maybe the Second War or somewhere, maybe around the Korean War. I'd never paid that. And there was no internet back then, and I've still got my Zippo from back then. But anyhow, 1978 to 82, it was a big party. But there were a lot of frustrated, and I'm going to call them lifers. That's what most people call them, especially us, EIEIOs, ones, twos, and threes, and some fours. Um, in my eyes, there was a difference between a lifer and a serious career soldier or sailor. Lifers were just nitpicky, whiny, grumbling, power wielding, uh, okole heads. There's somebody in here knows a little bit of Hawaiian. Uh, so 10 years, oh my gosh. And in the Marines, people say to me, oh, thank you for your service. It was a party. Thank guys like SGT or my brother. My brother died a Marine in Vietnam. So those are the people to thank. Those are what Veterans Day is really for, those type of veterans. And, you know, maybe I get to sit a little closer to the parade because I did my 4 years, but not like real soldiers, guys and gals. Um, Emerald Coast Stacker, I miss Iaya Bowl's Tasty Chicken. Well, I know where that bowling alley is. There's a really good Mexican restaurant near it. It's it's a little sketchy area now. The youth have changed in Hawaii. They are way more now. See, I'm Haole, so I'm I'm way used. Now I'm uncle. Before I was Haole, now I'm uncle. But so now I'm not talking about that. They have adapted. So used to have a culture where they embraced their localness, whether they had any Hawaiian in them or not. But if they were local Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, Filipino, you know, maybe their parents were born in overseas and they were born and grew up here, but they embraced that culture, their culture. That was back when the music's Hawaiian music, especially Hawaiian popish. I wouldn't call any of it rock, but definitely pop. Cecilio and Capono, Olomana, Capena, Capana. I mean, they embraced their culture. Now they've even changed. You're not even allowed to call a hakule. I forget what my wife told me what we're supposed to call them now, and I said that's ridiculous. I'm done with it. But now the youth of 2024, and I'm going to say since I don't know, I've been I climbed out from underneath the lockdown rock, maybe 22, yeah, oh maybe or late 21, somewhere around there, and started experiencing other humans and civilization, and they've adapted a completely different culture. To me, it reminds me more of Cleveland, Ohio, downtown Cleveland, Ohio, just outside of the flats. Uh, it's completely changed. So yeah, but Aiea Bowl is pretty darn famous. Although a lot of bowling alleys are going out of business here. Um, and then I don't know, is that called Aiea Bowl or Leeward Bowl? And maybe Aiea Bowls is a restaurant. I don't I don't go out to retail food joints. Uh, Not for years and years and years and years and years because I'm po. And I couldn't afford this kind of stuff unless I cooked from scratch and grew my own potatoes and tomatoes and asparagus and blackberries, the gift that keeps on giving. Set it and forget it. But yeah, uh, OC Stacker shows up in capital letters, says, just got notification. Hello. We're down to 2 people, but I've gotten 14 thumbs up. I'm going to get through this and close up shop. It's an hour and 6 minutes. Thank you so much. And thank you for your input on the subject of the day. Should I trade up? I'll have another video about my Australian kilo coins. I want to turn those into something else, something a little bit more stackable, a little bit more handy. Um, I tripped over those when I was looking for eagles. OC Stacker, yay! A hand clap, applause. Emerald Coast Stacker, got to run and pick up some. Whoops, try tip. Oh, try tip for kebabs on the grill. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Emerald Coast Stacker. You too. Uh, you know, be safe. Silver Sign says at Sergeant Stacker, STG stacking GT. Oh, good to see you. Yay. The Kona we have roasted has been a blend. Yeah, yeah. That's I don't know when that started happening. Probably from the beginning. But there are some 100% Kona coffees that you can get, and they're 100% more expensive. I don't know if they're double the cost of regular coffee, but they're more expensive and kind of super strong. I don't know. I don't think blending hurts Kona coffee. Now, Kauai coffee, I haven't had any that I'm aware of, and I hear it's Kona-ish, but with a little less bite, if that makes any sense, as Silverstein applause. Mr. V. Rose, please remember to get the thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Mr. V. Rose. OC Sacker says hello at Silverstein, at Emerald Coast Stacker, at JK Pioneer, at Mr. V. Rose, and at SGT Stacking. Awesome, OC. JK says hi back at you. Mr. V. Rose, emoji, 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 cheers at OC Stacker. Very popular. SGT Stacking, hey, at Silverstein, at OC Stacker. Awesome. Yes, I do. SGT Stacking says, have you experience with selling on eBay Sleuth? Yes, I have, but it's since 2012. I probably did it pretty steady between '02 and 2010. And then I had to take a break. Life got in the way. And yeah, I had really good 100% feedback, had comments. Oh, wow, wonderful items shipped to make 4 trips around the world, stuff like that. And I was very attentive to, because I was home most of the time when I wasn't hunting or occasionally going out and trying to buy gold and silver, um, which was an effort. It took time. Half-hour drive, buyer's remorse out in the parking lot smoking a cigarette before I finally go back in and make my final decision, that kind of stuff. And then another half-hour drive home or to another shop in case I still had some cash left over. But yeah, I did. And I think, and I have resurrected my eBay account. I've done a little bit of research, not much. Um, Probably going to get a lot of notes, take a lot of notes off of stacking channel people that do eBay. But yeah, I would say I have experience. Is it super recent experience? No, but I think other than mechanics, one of my biggest questions is if I sell now, I've never sold anything on eBay while living in Hawaii. Everything was when I was in Ohio. So I'm wondering, as let's say I sell a vintage Ren Spooner Lahaina Sailor shirt, which in 1986 was I think $50 in the stores. Now they're $150, but they still look brand new. So let's say I were to sell one of those for, let's just say $20. I don't care. I mean, I do, but I don't. I just want to get this stuff gone. Um, am I going to have to pay the state of Hawaii 4.172% sales tax? Am I going to have to collect that for them? Are my non-Hawaii resident customers going to have to pay a Hawaii tax? So I'm going to get on there with something super cheap, probably an Aloha shirt, and see, and then I'll make my decision there. But I have heard there's other viable options to um, sell stuff, uh, not precious metals. I'm really not interested in selling anything that I've got. Trading, upgrading, possibly selling to really quickly upgrade, but I'd rather do a straight up trade, especially at a coin show. I'm taking my one of my OZ Eagles um, with me. I was thinking about taking my kilos with me, but I think pictures worth 1,000 words. So I'll take phone photographs and say, hey, by the way, especially if I see somebody that has one for sale. Hey, by the way, and smile. Um, so yeah, I get a little bit of experience. Okay, Mr. Vero says I got to get to pressure cleaning before sunset. Oh man, you get to use a pressure washer. Those things are fun for the first 5 minutes. That's great. Silver Sleuth, may I email? Yes, absolutely. There's on my channel page. You hit more. You say that you might have to click a little link that says it'll say email, but it's Howley 007 at Yahoo. HAOLE 007 at Yahoo. Had that since it was, um, geez, I don't even know what. My ISP in Ohio, small town, was a kid. I call him a kid. He's only, I think, 3 grades behind me. He was a brainiac, worked for the state. He was a surveyor for the state or the county. Anyway, he was a pioneer in the uh, privately owned small business ISP business. So he was my ISP guy, and he passed away recently. I think last couple of years. I've had a lot of people die. People that said you're crazy to take your Social Security early. They didn't even get to that point. So anyhow, uh, so I appreciate that, Mr. V Rose. Be careful. Yes, you can email me, even if it's not precious metals related. Otherwise, I can contact you via USPS. No, you don't have to write me a letter. It's good. Um, and my address is on there. I got a fancy anonymous ish post office box with the greatest zip code 96782-9999. That's ironic. Um, but yeah. I got some poker chips in case you want one. And I'm an excellent packer of the poker chip too. I go a little overboard with tape sometimes, but uh, I'd already known you don't want to tape a regular envelope up in the top right-hand corner because some postmasters get a little yacked off because the uh, the plastic tape will stop the postmark from doing its job. But absolutely, you can get a hold of me for anything. SGT Stacking says at Silver Sleuth 007, if you really wanted to melt that half-ounce commemorative, I would just use some MAP gas and a seasoned whip dish. Yeah, I think I learned that either in addition to your channel, but along the way. But I'm a freak and I want to get me a forge. And I haven't decided which kind. I know I'm not interested in copper, aluminum, tin, or brass or anything. That's just gold and silver and convenience. And I think I've decided to go propane versus electric. I'm not completely sold on that idea, but I think propane is more versatile, especially in a grid down situation. I don't have a gas grill, but I wouldn't mind having one. I have some camping grills that run on those little small butane tanks, or propane. Is it propane? Yeah, propane. And so yeah, I'm looking, but I haven't been able to, and I've inquired with either companies or smelters or people kind of reviewing smelters. I'm curious as to what kind of amps they pull, because I hate dealing with circuit breakers and electric boxes, and I learned a really good lesson. Well, I learned lessons the hard way until I learned this really good one. I actually found a window air conditioner made by Toshiba. It only draws 5 amps and it is perfectly adequate, almost too good for like a 15 by 15 room. And because I just don't want to fiddle with this 1972 circuit box here any more than I already have. I had to do an emergency hot water heater uh, slab leak, a hot water line slab. I had to, locate the manifold and all. I've done DIY stuff, and but man, what a pain! And I did it in a very DIY way. I just rammed the I got copper pipe through the wall, uh, uh, redwood, which is really tough stuff to work with, and the wall. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to beautify it maybe with some wainscoting, but I'm going to let a professional do that. It's my mother-in-law's bathroom, which needs to be made safer, needs to be re-updated since 1972 when it was built, um, and mostly safety thing. So anyway, I got to get okay. You really wanted to know that? Yes, I believe you. And I'm not going to try to be a snob or especially tell someone like you. It's not a commemorative. It's a real coin. They even call it a coin. I'm Does it have a dollar amount? Maybe if it doesn't have a dollar amount, it's a metal. I go, nope, no dollar amount. No, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm not surprised that I'm wrong. But they call it a coin. But it doesn't matter. I just get a kick out of that. I'm kind of joshing you a little bit. But yeah, I learned that the map gas thing. I forget what I was trying to do. It's been years ago, but when I learned about that map gas versus just a regular propane torch, my dad would have known about all that. As a matter of fact, there's a good possibility that he designed the machine that makes stuff like that because he was a mechanical engineer, draftsman, um, you know, freak, genius. Ended up teaching it, retiring from a college, teaching mechanical engineering, drafting, all that stuff that goes with it, and at the college level. Actually helped form. It was a institute, mechanical, and yeah, he would know about that kind. He had a welding set up and the stuff. I don't know why I never really got into it any more than I did. It's mostly like little dad and father and son projects that I helped him with, um, until he got to the point where about the age that I am right now, where his body gave up on him and he needed a lot of help. But yeah, thank you for the advice. But I still want to forge because they're cool, and uh, um, I I don't know. It's just, I'm kind of stir crazy, get bored pretty easily. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do the. I do heavy physical lifting and a lot of sitting, and I'm not sure I want to do it anymore. My back's just killing me, and that's giving me a negative attitude. But oh, they're down to one. So yeah, you won't hear. Whoops, get back here. Maybe you'll watch it again. I doubt it. Doesn't matter. But yes, I understand. Mr. V Rose, please remember to get the thumbs up. Man, you're the best. Uh, SGT stacking, we don't care. Yeah, I don't either. um, and I don't blame you. This is therapy for me, but it's nice to get, what do you call it? Feedback. Oh, there's a new word, a new name, perplexed mind. I can ignore that spam call. Although, uh, Southern Metal, he likes to mess with the spammers. That's rough, Sleuth. Sorry for your loss. I don't know what loss you're talking about. It's probably my father. Yeah, he's my best friend ever. I can't think of anything worse than, and I lost my brother, but I was young, really young, 7. Uh, the only thing I can't imagine is losing my wife, and I know that's might be inevitable, but most likely on her end. Gotta go. Take care. Sleuth says SG. Thank you very much. Well, I don't know who's left. I don't know if there's a way to even figure out just the numbers, but it looks like there's 3 people in here, and I don't know if that includes me, but those that are still here, thank you for making it to the end. This is the end. And so, recap, we're talking about trading up from Gold Eagle to Buffalo, and not mass quantity. I'm not sure trade all. Maybe not the tenths, but yeah, just equivalent ounce of gold. And then would it take a little extra cash on my part, or maybe I could finagle, you know, uh, that equivalent in silver in order to get a couple more eagles or a couple more buffaloes. And if there's no such thing as a type 2 buffalo eagle, just a regular buffalo eagle, maybe one in a capsule instead of this plastic thing in this fancy um, certificate of authenticity. What was it called? Celebration coin, 2008 celebration coin. Um, no interest in, matter of fact, I don't know why I'm keeping all this stuff. I have no idea what my wife would even think about doing with it. I've shared with her what I would suggest, but after 45 years of being her husband, I realize that all I can do is suggest and not be offended if if that advice is not taken. Yeah, that's no good. But yeah. So recap. Yeah, that's what we talked about, and then a bunch of stuff in between. I reacted to some of the chat. In the future, I'm going to be talking about stuff like this. Although it's really not that tough to stash away. But if I could get a video out of it and making some channel member happy. Oh man, I saw those. I've been wanting one forever, or something like this. Uh, this is a pretty neat thing. I think there were trade show stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna do videos on that. Uh, Probably remind people I never did get enough comments on my Hopper Y thing, but I was offering to give people a choice between this copper round, which is really neat, or this packet thingy, which is a couple bicentennial coins, a JFK, and a quarter. And then this is I'm going to call it a bronze medal about the United States Treasury, which looks like it's a really big building. Oh no, that's the San Francisco Mint. And that's the Treasury back there. Wow, I didn't realize. They're one and the same. But yeah, never got enough comments, and so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that stuff. Generic, that's where I'm headed now. My strategy is headed more towards generic-y stuff. Um, After I get some specific years of eagles, so I can say I got one of each. I'm probably not gonna worry about this kind of fancy gold. It's a burnished. I think it's got a special mint mark. And then here's a silver one. This has the front is 2007, but oh no, that's the gold eagle. Here we go. This is a silver eagle. So it's a 2008, but they made a mistake and put the wrong reverse on it. I don't know if that's a premium, as most folks would call it. And then so that's it. That's probably a deep stacker type thing. I don't know. It takes up a lot of space. I don't think it's. I really don't know. It might be worth probably the box if you take the raw market value of today's market value of a gold eagle. I don't know if it does it have a special mint mark like a W. I think W's are kind of special, possibly. No, I really don't. I really don't see anything significant about that. So other than the box that it's in, some kind of anniversary set thingy, and I don't think I paid any premium, so to speak. So yeah, I'm, I don't know. I have to find out. I have to do a little research. I mean, I don't want to leave $1,000 on the table, but if it's, 50, $60, and if it's something that I really, 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 really want, like one of these that wasn't in one of these plastic gizzies, maybe a capsule, like that, those things. Yeah, the numbers were close enough. And if I'm going to have to add a little bit with a dealer at a coin show, I'd rather do it with a stacking channel person. Nothing against coin shop owners, but they don't really need my money. Um, but so anyway, thanks for everybody for coming in. Still four people. Let me see. I gotta go. No more comments. Great. I like that. We don't care. I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't blame him, especially if it's anything that I've been talking about. Um, so yeah, that's it. So thanks for showing up. Look in my channel page and then either click more or there's an email link. But you can get a hold of me, send me an email if you collect poker chips. I got double shipped, and so I think I got buy one get one free, and they were the least expensive. Um, Nothing fancy. This is a this is my dig at milk spots. Take care. Gotta go. Care Sleuth. Thank you, SGT. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, milk spots. I'd never heard about milk spots until about I don't know 3 or 4 months ago when I found out from you folks that they're not good. But then even though I didn't know it, of course they didn't bother me when I didn't know they were on there. But when I found out, oh, some of my maples in the tubes have milk spotting, and the Philharmonics in tubes, which have been opened. I don't know if they've, if, is that little thing of tape that they put on top of the brand new tube that's never been opened, is that going to keep them from getting milk spotted? I don't know. I don't think any further exposure to the elements changes milk spotting. But yeah, this is my dig at milk spots. I tried to introduce the idea of a milk spot premium as an authenticator. Oh, you don't own a pinger, or a sigma? Hey, no problem. Milk spots, that's your verifier. Genuine milk spots. Okay, so four people left. Anybody new in the chat? Perplexed mind. I'll have to click on your avatar. I've probably subscribed to you. I subscribe to everybody, especially if they make a comment or I see, oh yeah, they showed up in my chat or comments. Heck yeah. And I think I don't know if you can delete people from being a follower. I don't know, but if somebody sees, oh, who's this? Click. Oh, I don't like that guy. Click. Be gone. That's fine. You won't hurt my feelings. I still love you. So, well, thanks for tuning in. Let me see. We got an hour and 28 minutes. So I'm reverting back to uh, too much time. But I don't know when I'll be able to post a regular video. And I am learning how to kind of keep it short on those. This is different. This is more of a rambling, and then you go to the chat and try to acknowledge people that come in the channel. It's it's definitely fun. Definitely makes the time fly. So, hour and 28 minutes and 38 seconds leads me to believe it's time to say aloha. Um, Stack what you can when you can while you can without neglecting other opportunities, priorities, investments, and obligations. So, in the meantime, all right then.